friends, good morning. Today I would like to do an important video in Vedic astrology, which is Jupiter Mahadasha. So I know most of the people they are very interested and curious to know how a Jupiter Mahadasha looks like. So it is very important to consider some factors before we decode any Mahadasha. So if we are talking about decoding about Jupiter Mahadasha, we need to understand what is Jupiter, and also at what point of time in an individual's life, like he is running Jupiter Mahadasha. That is also very important to know. There are some people who are born in certain stars. They may not get a chance to experience Jupiter Mahadasha, but still they will experience Jupiter factors during their Jupiter antar dashas. Okay, but for people who have Jupiter Mahadasha active, or who would be running Jupiter Mahadasha in future, or who will run Jupiter Mahadasha in their life, so this video actually gives some insights, provides some insights on Jupiter Mahadasha. So Jupiter Mahadasha spans 16 years. So what is Jupiter? So Jupiter is expansion, optimism, higher learning, teacher, guide. So a teacher, a guide, a guru within you and available for you to help you. It could be your guru, a traditional guru, it could be your mentor, it could be the God that you have faith in. So that is what Jupiter is. And coming to the significations, so Jupiter is actually Karaka for children, Jupiter is Karaka for wealth, Jupiter is Karaka for house, Jupiter is Karaka for peace, contentment. And also because Jupiter owns two houses from natural zodiac, Aries, which is 9th house and 12th house. So irrespective of ascendants, Jupiter brings 9th house and 12th house results predominantly. So 12th house is expenses for a good cause, which we call as charity. 12th house is known for self-sacrifice. 12th house is known for healing. 12th house is known for all the pilgrim places, holy places, temples, masjid, church. And 12th house is a house of spirituality also. There are other negative things that 12th house might refer, but in the present context I would like to talk about a few things related to Jupiter. And Jupiter also owns the 9th house, which is Sagittarius from Aries. So 9th house is higher learning, spiritual side of life, gurus, teachers, mentors, long travels, higher education, father. So Jupiter actually is a significator for all these things. Now a person is running Jupiter Mahadasha or is about to run Jupiter Mahadasha. So how to understand this? What does Jupiter give? How does this Mahadasha influence the individual? So what I can say is, for people who have prominent Jupiter Mahadasha that is running at right point of time, either in the middle age or in a certain age, 40 plus years, Jupiter Mahadasha is going to be very powerful for them. Because this Mahadasha spans 16 years, so it has a long lasting impact for any individual who runs Jupiter Mahadasha. So it's a kind of a deciding factor. Jupiter benchmarks where what this person will be and where this person will be. It's a benchmarking dasha. So before Jupiter Mahadasha, any individual goes through, he or she, they go through Rahu Mahadasha. So what is Rahu? Rahu is obsession, illusion, greedy, cunning, unexpected things, loss. Usually, when a person goes through this Rahu Mahadasha 18 years, it is likely the person commits many sins or wrongdoings or misdoings during Rahu Mahadasha. The riches, assets, whatever Rahu will give, that will not last for most of the people. People who bought home, vehicles, lands, actually they lost all of them at the end of Rahu Mahadasha during Dasha Chidra time. So Dasha Chidra means the intersection of two Mahadashas. So in this case, a person finishes Rahu Mahadasha and is about to enter Jupiter Mahadasha. So that Dasha Chidra time is around 2.5 to 3 years. So people who have Rahu and Jupiter in certain houses, in certain stars, they have to be careful in handling this energy. So why actually our sages or gods, they devised this Mahadasha system in such a way that that people who finish Rahu Mahadasha, they enter Jupiter Mahadasha. When they finish Jupiter Mahadasha, they enter Saturn Mahadasha. So basically, if you see the Dasha system starting from Sun Mahadasha, so Jupiter comes in the middle, in the midpoint. So basically what happens in Jupiter Mahadasha? In a nutshell, Jupiter cleanses a person, because in Rahu Mahadasha the person went through lot many wrongdoings, misdoings, might have piled up lot of karmic debt, because it was because of influence of Rahu that he had to do certain things, and he committed some wrongdoing, some sins, and he acquired some karma. And Jupiter is the planet, actually he cleanses that person, makes a person free from all these sins. That is what Jupiter is capable of. That is what happens in Jupiter Mahadasha. If a person is conscious of this divine wisdom, who has inherent belief in God, gurus, they will definitely channelize this energy and they cleanse themselves, they introspect during Jupiter Mahadasha. So Jupiter Mahadasha is a tremendous opportunity. So either a person is in business or career, at the time they run Jupiter Mahadasha, they start Jupiter Mahadasha. So it's a big trigger, big transformation. So Jupiter expands. That's the nature of Jupiter. And Jupiter gives a lot of optimism also. But we have to see the dignity of Jupiter. For a particular some ascendants, Jupiter is a completely functional malefic, 100% functional malefic. So consider for Libra. For Libra, Jupiter owns both 3rd and 6th house. So most of the people, they struggle a lot during Jupiter Mahadasha. It doesn't mean that Jupiter Mahadasha will not bring them auspicious results. They have to work hard. They have to struggle hard to rightly utilize that Jupiter energy. And for Capricorn ascendants also, the Jupiter owns 2 houses, so 3 and 12. So these ascendants also they struggle a lot, especially when in the initial stage of Jupiter Mahadasha, because the 12th house gets activated and 3rd house gets activated. Depending on the position of the Jupiter, they'll see the results. So for anyone, for any individual, irrespective of ascendants, irrespective of whether Jupiter is malefic or benefic, okay, so any Mahadasha, within its same Antardasha, the Dasha is not at all fruitful. It's something like a vehicle is going in first gear. So gradually it picks up the speed as it enters the next Sabdasha, next Antardasha. So Jupiter Mahadasha, Jupiter Antardasha, so it won't give you a quick surprise results. It's not something you become fortunate in overnight. It's a kind of a vehicle going on a road in a very bare low speed on a first gear. And for Sagittarius, Jupiter becomes owner of 2 Kendras. So if he is positioned in Kendra, so the Jupiter Mahadasha brings a lot of troubles, because of a person doing mistakes by his own, he would get into a lot of troubles, especially related to debts, financial management, relationships. So the one great thing about Jupiter is, irrespective of ascendant, irrespective of the position of Jupiter, irrespective of whether he is benefic or malefic, Jupiter actually always protects an individual. Wherever Jupiter is positioned, or whatever be the house that receives Jupiter's aspect, and whatever the planet which is under influence of Jupiter, they can't harm, they can't do any harm or any damage to the particular house or the factors signified by those houses. So that's the actually greatness of Jupiter. That's what is called Guru. So in many videos, many astrologers, they actually mention this. Even it was mentioned in Vedic text that Guru Jupiter is the only energy that could forgive an individual and can change the fate of an individual if he gets the blessings of a Guru. That's the greatness of Guru. That is what we are talking about, a Jupiter. A person who has a prominent Jupiter in their chart, definitely they connect to higher wisdom through gurus. The guru could be their father, people in their lineage, a grandfather, or people could be within or outside their caste and community. But definitely they seek a guru who will guide them, support them, nurture them. That's what actually most of the people experience. If they are starting a Jupiter Mahadasha, it means they have a guru, a guiding figure, personality around them, and they need to channelize that energy, utilize that energy. So Jupiter is a planet that always gives you a balance. A balanced mindset. A Jupiterian person, he possesses a stable and balanced mindset. So, for any individual, whatever be the houses, planets that have Jupiter's influence, it means those planets, those houses, they give, at least they can't give inauspicious results. I don't say they will give superb results just because of Jupiter connection, but I could say Jupiter actually protects, heals those planets, houses, and saves an individual from many threats. That's why Jupiter aspect itself has a lot of significance in Vedic astrology. So especially when we talk about Balarishta and Marakas, longevity, any house that receives Jupiter aspect cannot be a Maraka house. It cannot cause any threat to life of an individual. That's the greatness of Jupiter. And it was mentioned in many classical texts that a person who has Jupiter in Kendra in 1, 4, 7 and 10 houses, that Jupiter is supposed to be very strong, and that Jupiter is capable of eliminating 100 sins, evading 100 sins. So such an auspicious great planet, Jupiter. Because Jupiter is also Karka for wealth, happiness, well-being. and children. So usually after some imbalance that they see in Rahu Mahadasha, after a big turbulence, they see a peace and a calm life during Jupiter Mahadasha. Of course, the Jupiter Mahadasha and Jupiter Antardasha, that won't be that promising, because it's a kind of a settling time. It's the time that a person transforms and get used to the energy of Jupiter Mahadasha, what Jupiter is going to give him. So people who have a Jupiter in Kendra and Kona, it means like 1, 4, 7, 10, 5, 9, Jupiter gives very good results for them. In fact, in neutral houses, 2 and 11 also, Jupiter works well. Even though he is not comfortable, but still, he works well in even 2 and 11. And also, I would like to mention that we need to see in Shadbala, what is the dignity of Jupiter? What is the strength of Jupiter? What is the relative strength of Jupiter? We have to see before we rush into concluding, the results of, Jupiter Mahadasha or planet Jupiter. If Jupiter attains very good score in Shadbala, it means Jupiter is bound to give all the significations to the individual in all walks of life as he evolves. Yes, Jupiter is very strong. So in Rashi chart, where is Jupiter? And Navamsha, what is the internal energy of Jupiter? So in Navamsha, Jupiter is more powerful than in Rashi. If I were to see dignity of Jupiter, so I am more interested to see Shadbala and the Navamsha. And Jupiter in Kendra, in a prominent house, in exalted state, makes a person a guru kind of personality, a teacher, mentor kind of personality. It makes a person very ideal guru. If Jupiter is retrograde, then that makes the Dasha more interesting, because this person takes a twisted path. I have seen many charts where Jupiter is exalted and retrograde, and Jupiter is in enemy house and retrograde, and Jupiter is in Nicha and retrograde, and Jupiter gave excellent results for them. But here the thing you have to understand is when Jupiter is in retrograde, he attains Chastabala. So his actually willpower gets amplified. It's doubled. So if they properly channelize, utilize, leverage that Jupiter energy, Jupiter will give outstanding results for them. The retrograde Saturn Dasha, retrograde other planets Dasha is not that easy. But the retrograde Jupiter Mahadasha, it's an opportunity for a person to look back and correct his mistakes, introspect, and realign his strategies, because Jupiter attains Chastabala. So here, who is aligning Chastabala? Who is actually having this Chastabala? A divinely person, a guru, an optimist, getting that will to do things, certain things by his own. That is the energy Jupiter will give. So nothing is going to stop you, and there is no look back in a retrograde Jupiter Mahadasha, if you understand that energy properly and utilize that energy properly. So Jupiter Mahadasha is an opportunity for anyone to dispose of their duties and to become a perfectionist, purify, cleanse themselves before they get into Saturn Mahadasha. At the end of Jupiter Mahadasha, it dictates the fate and future of an individual. If a person, if for a person, if Jupiter Mahadasha is not fruitful, if he ends with the Jupiter Mahadasha ends with all unpleasant and bitter experiences, then Saturn Mahadasha is going to be more painful. Because whatever be the issues, problems, the imbalance that needs to be addressed, the person, the individual has to work and understand the energy, the energy of Jupiter, and work with him, imbibe the energy, and become successful, so that he will not have any regrets in Saturn Mahadasha. Because any person, any ascendant, when they get into Saturn Mahadasha, they have to ensure their life is very light and very simple. It's not heavy, like having many responsibilities, debts, karmic debts, a lot of animosity, and with all these negative factors, if you get into Saturn Mahadasha, so Saturn is going to screw you up. So what I want to tell you is, Jupiter Mahadasha is a great opportunity for any individual who runs this dasha, who avails this Mahadasha, to reset their system and achieve perfection. And Jupiter is in Pushkaramsya, or Jupiter in Pushimi Nakshatra, makes a person highly spiritual. So he becomes a healer, he becomes an astrologer. So friends, this is my analysis about Jupiter Mahadasha. If you like my analysis, please click on like button and also subscribe to this video. Thank you very much.